girls, to wonderful Wednesday. I hope your week is going well. Miss James and I love to see everything you're doing. So thank you to you and your mums and dads for sending in photos and videos of you working hard. We are so proud of you. Every time we see a new photo or video, our chest puffs up and we expand our chests and we feel so proud. So keep up that great work. We love to see how you're learning at home. Let's write the date for today. Today, if we look at our calendar, today is Wednesday the 6th. Now, the weather forecast told me today would be cloudy and sunny. Sometimes you might notice that these weather pictures that I've made aren't always accurate because we're recording a few days ahead and sometimes the weather changes. And so sometimes I've had to quickly go back and change it. Once it was sunny, then it was rainy. But today it looks like it'll be sunny and cloudy. We hope you have a lovely day. Let's write Wednesday the 6th of May. Capital W for our proper noun. Wednesday. Let's say the syllables. Wednesday, 3. Wednesday the 6th. 6 is our ordinal number. Wednesday the 6th of May, capital M, proper noun. May 2020. Can you think about what season it is at the moment? Look outside, that might give you a clue. It's autumn. Let's say our seasons of the year together. Summer, autumn, winter, spring. Let's write them down now. We have ER for and a double M for the sound. And our U is making it up. Now we have autumn. A and U making the O sound. Capital letters for our seasons. Next we have winter. Another sound and the same spelling. Last we have spring. So we have our 4 seasons. We're in autumn. Let's go through the months of the year and count the number of the month we're in. Let's go. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Now let's go through again and stop at May. January, February, March, April, May, the 5th month in the year. That means we are almost halfway through the year. How exciting. Our joke for today is one that 2S students might guess quickly because they've done all this work on rocks and geology. Here's your joke. What type of music do geologists like best? I'll say it again. What type of music do geologists like best? So think of the types of music we might have. Think about what geologists do, what they discover, what they look at. And the answer is rock. Geologists must like rock music because they study rocks. Hi boys and girls, we're going to sing our proper noun songs and we've got the voices of our lovely Toby, Kimbo, Talia and Mackenzie. Let's start singing. C-A proper noun, B-A star. Use a capital letter and you'll go far. 1 a person's name to start of a sentence. 3 a our grammar sentence stew song. This helps us remember all the different parts of language that we use when we're writing. This song has a few actions, so sing along and do them as you get to know it. We're making a sentence stew, clause, 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 clause. We're making a sentence stew, clause, 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 clause. Capital letter, adjective, noun, verb. We're making a sentence stew, clause, 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 clause. What is a clause? Read it with me. A clause is a complete idea, like the cat sat on the mat. What is an adjective? An adjective is a describing word that paints a bigger picture. What is a noun? Say it with me. A noun is a person, place, or thing. What is a proper noun? Say it together. A proper noun is a special name of something and has a capital letter. Let's do the chorus again. We're making a sentence stew, clause, 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 clause. We're making a sentence stew, clause, 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 clause. Capital letter, adjective, noun, verb. We're making a sentence stew, clause, 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 clause. What is a pronoun? Let's read it. A pronoun replaces the noun. Like, hands up, he, him, his, her, she, we, us, they, their, them. 10 pronouns. What is a verb? A verb is a doing word, an action or feeling. What is an adverb? An adverb describes the verb, like running slowly or quickly. And our last one, what is a conjunction? A conjunction joins two clauses together. Hands up, with, and, so, but, however, because. Let's say our chorus again. We're making a sentence stew, clause, 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 clause. We're making a sentence stew, clause, 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 clause. Capital letter, adjective, noun, verb. We're making a sentence stew, clause, 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 clause. There's one more I want you to know. You may remember this from last term. What is a preposition? A preposition tells us where something is, like, hands up, between, beside, near or far. Okay, let's do our chorus. It's going to be longer this time. We're making a sentence stew, clause, 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 clause. We're making a sentence stew, clause, 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 clause. Capital letter, adjective, noun, verb. Then the adverb, 1, 2, 3, and conjunction. We're making a sentence stew, full stop. Well done. It's time to make some silly sentences with our spelling words. So make sure you have your English activity book open to the spelling words page for week 2. Then let's have a look at some sentences I have created. They're silly, there can be silly ones, but they have to make sense. So let's read the sentences I have here together. Make sure you're reading out loud. 1, 2, 3. I decorated a great big steak costume and wore it proudly in the fancy dress parade. Now a steak is a piece of meat. So can you imagine I've made this huge meat costume and I've decorated it with maybe stars and different pieces of glitter, and now I'm wearing it in the fancy dress parade. Let's do the second sentence. The parade was ablaze with colour as everyone had created amazing costumes. Have you noticed I've used the word ablaze, which was what I studied on Monday in my word work. So you could use lots of different spelling words that you have thought about on Monday too, now that you know what they mean. So let's first go through and find the nouns. We're going to underline them in red. Our persons or people, places or things. Here's one, a great big steak costume. And now we have a place or an event, the fancy dress parade. The parade was ablaze with colour as everyone had created amazing costumes. And everyone, that's people. Oh, I forgot myself. Don't forget, if you are talking about yourself, to underline our pronouns like I. There we go. We've found our nouns. Let's find our adjectives, our describing words that paint a bigger picture. They often come before or after our nouns because they describe them. So let's see. Oh yes, I've got great big to describe my steak costume. Then. Now our next sentence, we have the adjective ablaze with colour because it's describing the parade. So I'm going to underline the entire phrase, ablaze with colour. And the last thing we'll underline for an adjective is the word amazing. The costumes were amazing. Next, we're on to our verbs. An action or a feeling. So remember, we underlined them in green. I decorated because it's something I did. A great big steak costume and wore it proudly in the fancy dress parade. The parade was ablaze with colour as everyone had created. They had made their own costumes. So we have decorated, wore and created for our actions. The last thing we'll do now is underline an adverb. Remember, adverbs add to the verb. The adverb gives more description to how the verb was done. So let's say that again one more time. The adverb adds to the verb. So I have an adverb in the first sentence. We're going to read it and stop when we get to the word. I decorated a great big steak costume and wore it proudly. The adverb is proudly because I wore it proudly. I hope you're imagining in your head that I'm wearing a steak costume and I'm marching proudly in the parade. Now it's your turn. Use your spelling words and write 2 or 3 funny, silly sentences using your words. Remember, they must make sense. Then underline your nouns in red, your adjectives in blue, your verbs in green, and if you have an adverb, underline it in orange. Enjoy using your words. Boys and girls, today we are reading this very funny book by our author and illustrator Anthony Brown called My Mum. Enjoy this book. We have just read the book My Mum by Anthony Brown. Now turn to page 22 in your blue English activity book. You will find a comprehension activity sheet that we are going to use for My Mum. You'll notice that we are learning to identify and describe characters, and our character today is the mum in our book My Mum. Now we are going to describe her appearance and then Her traits. Her appearance is what she looks like. Her traits is what she is like as a person. So, if you need to, read through that book again on YouTube and think carefully now about her appearance and about what she is like as a person, her traits. For her appearance, I noticed on the front cover, she had brown eyes, long wavy hair, and she was wearing a dressing gown that was ablaze with bright, colourful flowers. And you might have noticed that colourful flower pattern makes an appearance on every single page. As for her traits, I noticed she was cheeky and funny. Did you see her doing this pose? She was so funny on the front cover. I noticed she also cared for others. Did you see how she got the groceries and was so strong and that she was looking after her family? And I also noticed she defends her family. And I got that from this page here where it says she is as tough as a rhino. It doesn't mean that she has tough skin like a rhinoceros. It means she's tough when she needs to be, like if she was protecting her family. So it's your turn now. Think about her appearance and her traits and draw a picture in the middle under the character My Mum. At the bottom where it says text, you are going to write the title and author, My Mum by Anthony Brown. Now that you have finished your comprehension sheet, I want you to look through the book quickly and find your 5 favourite similes to add to your simile bank that you should have already started from yesterday in your red book. These similes will help you later as you're writing your own. So don't forget to record your favourite, and you might like to even use them when you're talking to someone else in your family. It's writing time. We are going to be using all the similes we've thought about and collected in our own poem. It's going to be a simile poem. So every single sentence you write will have a simile. And this poem is going to be about your mum, just like the book we read was about a mum. I want you to think carefully about your mum as a character. Just like we did for our book, think about your mum's appearance, what she looks like. Maybe she wears red lipstick or wears fancy clothes. Maybe she likes to wear her gardening gear in the garden. Think about her appearance, lovely curly hair or straight hair, bright blue eyes or soft brown eyes. Then think about your mum's character traits, what she likes and who she is. Does your mum like gardening? Does your mum look after you and care for you? I'm sure she does. Does your mum tuck you in, make your favourite things, read you stories? Think about all the things your mum is and all the things she likes. You might find it helpful to draw a picture of your mum and label her features and then write her traits around the outside. I made a picture in my mind and used that to start writing my poem about my mum. I want you to write 5 lines today. That's 5 similes about your mum in your poem. Call your poem something like My Mum, or you could put an adjective in there. My amazing mum, my marvellous mum. And did you notice the title My Marvellous Mum actually has alliteration? Can you hear the sound? My Marvellous Mum. I think I'm actually going to change my title to My Marvellous Mum. Then under that, have the line A Poem By. So I've written a poem by Miss Scriven. You can have a poem by and your name. Then have 5 lines, 1 sentence for each line. Each time you start a new sentence, go down to the next line, just like I have. Let's read my poem together. My mum is as soft as a pillow. My mum is as cuddly as my teddy bear. My mum is as strong as a crane. And not a bird crane, this is a big crane in a work site. My mum is as funny as a clown. My mum is as creative as a designer. Those are my 5 simile sentences. Now it's your turn. You might get some ideas from our workbook pages or from your simile bank. You might like to even add adjectives in front of every noun. For example, instead of just saying, my mum is as funny as a clown, I could have said, my mum is as funny as a brightly coloured clown. That would have made it more interesting. So I challenge you, add some adjectives to make it more interesting. Those adjectives can go in front of every noun that you're comparing your mum to. Do your best and show us your work in progress. We'd love to see it. Now it's reading time. You are going to be reading your home readers online, and you are going to be reading PM readers. So now log in and read a reader in your level. You might like to have a parent ask you some questions about what you read so you can check your understanding. Have fun reading.